Howdy, howdy, everybody. Ooh, wrong. There we have it. Howdy, howdy, everybody. Greetings, Pathfinders. Today we are going to review the Pathfinder Wayfinder issue number 21. This was the one released at PaizoCon this year. It is the second edition Wayfinder issue for Pathfinder 2nd edition. It is entitled Age of Lost Omen Aftermath, and we'll get more on that a little bit later. Like it says in the graphic there are some very minor AP spoilers, mostly for Tyrant's Grasp. I will be putting up slides showing the different pages, so if you don't read those slides, you probably won't be spoiled with too much. But these are all spoilers for first edition APs, so if you aren't too worried about first edition AP spoilers, this is more than a safe show for you. As I'll just tell you now, the Wayfinder issue is all about kind of wrapping up all those first edition APs, especially Tyrant's Grasp, and applying some of those really, really cool stories as backgrounds or items or feats to your second edition characters to kind of tie together the two systems. I do have some other Paizo news here to go over, though. The Starfinder Humble Bundle is still going on, so go ahead and get yourself a copy of Pact Worlds, a beginner box, and a $400 worth of PDFs for, like, I believe $50. Plus you will have to pay shipping for that, but that's fine. It's a great deal. If you've ever wanted to get into Starfinder, this is your time. The Humble Bundles have always been a wonderful way to get involved into any Paizo system. Paizo Organized Play has a bunch of news on their blog post just yesterday. Highly recommend you go read it. Friend of mine, Tompa, got his 5th star for first edition campaign, which is awesome. Bunch of new options have been approved, from Mwangi Expanse, Ruby Phoenix, Malevolence. The Evolutionist playtest has begun, so go ahead and check that out and get all your opinions in on the Evolutionist before that playtest closes. That's the new Starfinder class, for those of you who don't know. And the 3 Pathfinder Society intro scenarios have been released, which is super exciting. They are repeatable scenarios that will help players learn what it means to be a Pathfinder, all the different factions, and what this Season 3 is all about. Hello there, Chiosaurus. Right. And the Starfinder Humble Bubble still going on. Oh, and it's been announced that Organized Play is in fact working on a way to get us some more replays. There will be more information about that, which, that's great. Tons of great scenarios out there in Season 1 and Season 2 that me and other people at Lodge have played, but other people at Lodge haven't. It's always kind of a bummer if you only have enough room for 1 or 2 tables and you gotta tell someone, well, you don't really have a place to play this week because you don't have a replay. So that's cool. That's really cool, and I can't wait to hear more news about that because we need more replays. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, Avatar: The Last Airbender has a tabletop role-playing game on Kickstarter. It has shattered the record for the most money backed for a Kickstarter tabletop role-playing game on Kickstarter. So if you like Avatar, if you like other role-playing games, go ahead and check it out. Also, check me out on Tuesday for the Booster Bestiary. I open random booster packs and use creatures inside to make Pathfinder 2nd Edition creatures, such as this Battle Mammoth, intended to be summoned with some extra summoner perks built in. But for now, we are going to do a review, which I just realized right now, due to a computer error, the PDF is not open. There we have it. View, 2-page view. There we go. Awesome. All right, so let's go here to PDF focus so you could stop staring at my face there. Oop. And full screen that. All right, so Wayfinder is the premier Pathfinder fanzine. It's released, I believe, 2 issues a year. Anyone who wants to get involved in Wayfinder as an editor, an artist, or a contributor, whether you write prose, game rules, fiction, poetry, you should definitely check them out. They have an open call that is forwarded by many of us freelancers there on Twitter, and you can find them on the Paizo forums where they ask for the submissions. We do not yet know the theme of the next issue, but it was given away here in the foreword that it will be 2nd edition. They will do other Starfinder issues. They're not 100% sure yet if the issue after the next issue will be Starfinder Isekai Edition. We'll figure it out. That'll be cool. It's a wonderful, completely free, by the way, Wayfinder. Completely free. You could download it at paizo.com. Like it says here, it's not for sale. It's tons of free content, game rules, background information. Because it is released for free, the information in here is all concerning the Lost Omen setting. So there's a lot of cool new stuff in here you could throw in. If you're doing adventures in Lost Omens, I highly recommend you check out Wayfinder, because there's a lot of really fun stuff that you could throw into your campaign here. Despite the fact it might not be completely canon, it is taking place in the canon setting, which is good enough for me. Oh, Apex Legends. Oh, I'm sorry. Chiosaurus, for some reason my stream says that it is Apex Legends. It is not. I'm not sure how to change that. That is entirely my fault. It has to do with the settings constantly being reverted on Restream, and I really do need to check that out. This is Pathfinder, and it cannot be set for whatever reason to Pathfinder on Restream currently, and their help says that they are going to get into it and try to figure it out for me. So, first things first, we have this, one of my favorite things in this book, though, is the Bard Muse of Tragedy. The Tragedy Muse allows you to get these really cool composition spells that deal with emotion effects. You could make people overwhelmed with their emotions. You can make people just start crying. My favorite focus spell in here, my favorite idea for a focus spell in here is definitely Empathic Reverberation, which makes anybody suffering under an emotion effect, or that gives a penalty, or frightened, or doomed, all suffer the same effects as one another. So if you use Intimidate to make a group of people frightened, and then hit one person with a really strong emotion effect, you could copy over that emotion effect to all the other frightened people. Really powerful, really fun, really helps make enchantment, which isn't that good of a school at 2nd edition yet, really helps give it an edge here, and it's extremely flavorful playing this Tragedy Muse Bard. Just really cool. There is also a saving finale, kind of a bring over from 1st edition, lets you give somebody a free saving throw if they're within your composition song, something I feel like we've kind of needed. Great article over here about why you should use secret checks. If you are still one of those GMs who doesn't believe in secret checks, go ahead and read it, because it does a good job explaining why secret checks are not only fun, but kind of necessary for the balance of the game, and for certain types of campaigns to even function. There's an article here about the Knights of Everstand, a group of knights who have decided to help with the refugees coming out of Last Wall, and a fun information about this faction, including plot hooks and notable figures. There's some really fun stories, fiction in this that I don't want to spoil, because experiencing them by reading them for yourself is what it's all about. But I will go ahead and show you the art for them. We have backgrounds. There are backgrounds in this book for every 1st edition AP, and if you played a character from an AP, I mean, this is funny, because my own Extinction Curse rogue is actually the daughter. I know the timeline's a little wonky there, but the daughter of my character played in Hell's Rebels. So I love having crossovers like that. I love having references like that. It makes the entire setting feel more alive and interconnected. So something like this, I really, really, really love. I'm not a fan of all of these being called rare, because almost all of them are just your standard 2 skill boosts and a skill feat. The skill feats in this are all from the core book, or I think a couple of them might be from the APG, but there are no new skill feats in this, which I kind of wish there were. I mean, I understand there's a lot of APs to get in this. Asking them to write 30 new skill feats would have added quite a bit more work to this book, but still, nevertheless, these do have some really cool flavor. They do give you some fun ideas for how your character could be connected to these old campaigns. So that right there is pretty neat. Pretty neat. Do absolutely love the return of the Rune Lord's human only background. don't want to say it, but you could see it right up here. Don't want to say it because it is kind of a big major spoiler for either that campaign or Shattered Star. But you could go ahead and use that one, and that one is special. I will admit that one does deserve the rare trait, definitely, because that is pretty special. All right, we got an article here on the Three Furies. These are these mountain peaks on the island of Terror that definitely needed more information. Wheel and Woe are a series of articles that you get basically one probably player aligned NPC and one antagonist. So that are related to one another. So in this case, we got ourselves a named ghoul and a named champion. That's what it is. Very helpful, actually. Just giving you the artwork for tokens and giving you these extra NPCs. You don't always have time as a GM to create backstories this elaborate. So having these free NPCs are really, really helpful. All right, so Dreams and Spirits. We got new stuff here for oracles and investigators, including a spiritism investigator that can pursue a lead with a totem spirit, kind of like that little hound there. It helps you pursue a lead using spirits. I don't know what else you could say there. You get, electrolocation or low light vision or scent. The Oracle is more I find the Oracle a little bit more interesting. The Oracle, the Mirage, very cool. It's about being so lost in your illusions that they start to seep into the real world. Sometimes uncontrollably so. It's a kind of character that I really enjoy playing. The idea of being addicted to your own illusions is something I really, really look forward to seeing whenever I'm at a table with an illusionist. The tabletop game here of Chance and Skill, it's been announced that I am in fact working on a Starfinder tabletop games book, so I do love the idea of playing tabletop games in character. It could reveal a lot about a character, working on with that. This one in particular, I do like how they've simplified it to basically rock, paper, scissors, wherein each of your options relates to one or two skills you could choose from, but it's not rock, paper, scissors as in this rock always beats scissors. It's rock, paper, scissors, and that rock has an advantage over scissors. But ultimately, the skills that you're using, diplomacy, sense motive, bluff, whatever, play far bigger role than, play a really big role too. So, like, just because you think the other person's going to pick paper, maybe you shouldn't pick scissors if your deception check isn't that high, because you still might lose. There's a wonderful shop here of cheese to choose from, so some Lost Omens flavored cheese. If anyone in your party ever was hosting a fancy dinner party and need to pick up some cheese, or just raided a warehouse, frankly, and opened a crate and you didn't know what to put in the crate, you could put in some cheese and you could say it's, dagger mark pepper and explain more about it based on the flavor here, which really helps add to a world's immersion and verisimilitude. Skillful items for the discerning professional. These really neat items have a little bit of a backdrop potentially. For example, the pocket gremlin you could see down there can disable a trap, but it's a secret check, so you're not 100% sure if it has disabled the trap or not. And if it hasn't, it will still go off and hit you, but it's pretty cheap for what it does. For having a pocket rogue, I like it. I love the artwork too. Just little gremlin down there, little clockwork gremlin down there working on a trap. I enjoy it. Tools of a Graveland Scavenger, a lot of smuggling stuff, a lot of stuff that would be great for Pathfinder Society, I gotta admit. The Wayfinder that you see pictured there always points towards the nearest undead within 50 feet. That definitely needs the uncommon tag, as there are certain types of undead, like vampires, who do not want to be identified with a 50 gold magic item. Alright, so we have a Gazetteer, the Tale of Ralok. This is about a place where humans and orcs, after Tyrant's Grasp, kind of started an alliance together. It's really about the encampment, the war camp, where the alliance took place and what life is like at that war camp. So that would be absolutely great if you were having a 2E sequel to Tyrant's Grasp, or pretty much any kind of a military alliance you could use, whether you're orc and human or whatever. There's a lot of good information you could use there. Side trek seeds, these are a lot different. You got a plot hook, you got a backstory, you got a potential resolution. These are some great authors. These are some really fun plot hooks. If you wanted some specialty stuff having to do with like Ushtalov, the Isle of Dread, that kind of north of the Inner Sea region, if you wanted to do some adventuring there's some wonderful little plot hooks here for some fun side quests or other adventures if your group went there suddenly, unexpectedly, and you need to run to the other room and read one of these quickly and try to get yourself a 5 minutes prep for a potentially 2, 3, 4 hour adventure done. Signal Beat the Clay, you have yourself some nice storytelling here. You got yourself some fun fiction you could read through. Wheel and Woe for Goblins, this really shows the vast, the very big the dichotomy between the two different types of goblins you expect to see in Pathfinder here. You got one literally eating somebody's foot, and you got another who is a hero, maligned hero looking to do his best, so to speak. Got yourself an ally and a villain. Whatever kind of goblin you're looking for, they got it there on that 2-page spread. All right, we got backgrounds from Hell's Rebels for Chilaxine players. Being a rebel of Cheliax is a long-standing great place for most PCs to start, as you get to play a chaotic character who most good characters could still get behind. So there you have it. Got yourself some fun backgrounds here. Again, most of them are skill feat, two boosts and 2 skill boosts. But they are flavorful. They do give you some great ideas for, oh yeah, I can make a character based on this. This adds a lot of flavor to my character. Here we got 5 ideas, 5 conspiracy theories of where Tar Baphomet's phylactery might be. Which, even if you're not using Tar Baphomet, these are some pretty fun ideas for a Lich, or even better, a fun idea to throw your characters off the scent of where your villainous Lich might be hiding their phylactery. Velamus, the Grey City, is about a city outside of Lastwall where a lot of refugees are living. Yes, the Razmirans do have a stronghold there. Wonderful picture of a Razmiran right there. Absolutely love that. There's some potential hooks in here. It's a great little city. Go ahead and check it out. Consider it for your campaign. Items of the Socorus Scar really caught my attention. There's some really good talismans here. I think talismans need a little bit more help in 2nd edition. They're good, but we could always use some more. Please, Paizo, give us some more talismans. Sulfur Eye in particular, the idea of a talisman exclusively to determine what a enemy is resistant to is really cool, because you don't always have the bard in the party who could, or you don't always have the right kind of skill to recall knowledge. You don't always want to spend the entire action to recall knowledge. So having a talisman that lets you see an enemy's elemental resistances, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. There's some factions among Lastwall refugees. If you want to have a Lastwall character, they are not all the same. You have some that do believe this is the end of the world for everyone, not just us. You have some who want to get back at Lastwall. You have some who just want to run away as much as possible. But point is, they are a diverse group. It is a rich part of the setting that you could do a whole lot more with than I want to stab undead, go Regathiol. Chasing Fire, we have some fun fiction over here about goblins and fire, and I don't want to spoil the fictions. They are so good, you should read them yourself for the first time. Oracles of the Fire of the Final Omen. Here we have your Doomsaying Oracle. The end is nigh. Great for, could be Rovagug himself, Groatus, Nimbio, lots of different apocalyptic gods you could choose from, or just no gods at all, just literally entropy is nigh. This is really good at giving you a specific element damage type that you could convert your spells to, and then give people weakness to that damage type. Really cool. Oh, it also lets you make things that try to strike you, or make things people are wielding shoddy. would be really nice for someone who really likes breaking a lot of weapons, which is otherwise extremely difficult in this system, especially for casters. So if you want a character who constantly shouts about the end is nigh, or just looking for a archetype for Oracle, or a mystery for Oracle that can convert energy types, go ahead and check out Oracles of the Final Omen. It's really nice. So you got a little island off the coast of Raha Doom that has some hauntings going on, some problems with pirates. You got another Wheel and Woe, Legacy of the Goblin Blood Wars. You got a wonderful, wonderful Goblin of Shaylin there, and got yourself a nasty evil dwarf. Got another game here, this one from Douglas Edwards. I know, I've gone to his convention before. Fun little game, a bit more complicated than the other one, intended to take a little bit more time, but within that time, there is a lot of space for character interaction and roleplay, and that's usually what I'm looking for when it comes to tabletop role-playing game, a way to express your character in this kind of new way. You got some relics. Those were from, I believe, Game Mastery Guide. Relics were things you could add to a weapon or item to give them a little bit more oomph. Got another fiction here about a halfling outrider, I will always call them. Riffle scrolls, really cool. So riffle scrolls are a first level feat for wizards. Essentially, it's a flip book. You're putting your scroll into multiple pages so you can flip through it super fast and use them without verbal components. Instead, you flip through your book for them. So they work in areas of magical silence. They don't make much of a noise. A little bit of noise as you riffle through them, but not as bad. It's flavorful. It's neat. It's memorable. People will remember you for your flip book spell casting, and it's that kind of really cool little addition to a character that really brings them out and makes them memorable. All right, we got to return to Deepmar here. If anyone here was a fan of Deepmar, Wall Watcher's Armory. If anyone here is playing a member of Last Wall, we got some more magic items here for you, in addition to what was given out in Pathfinder Character Guide. Fashions of New Thassalon's really interesting. I love the idea of looking into what New Thassalon is like, other than beyond just a reference of it was Varizia. What you're seeing right here is the Fragrance of the Midnight Flower is a perfume that gives you the effects of Numbral Shroud. A lot of these are very flavorful for people who like Shorsen. If your character has a certain background dealing with Shorsen, I highly recommend you print out this page here as your shopping list, because these are all flavorful as heck for somebody who looks up to the Rune Lord of Lust. All right, here we got two sides. Is this the right one? Not quite yet. Here we have two sides, Wheel of Woe, two sides of the Crusade. You have an evil person who, even though he was a doctor of the Crusade, he is exactly that kind of evil doctor that you'd expect, and a crusader looking for help. Great. Incidentally, the Wheel and Woes, when you do help with their side quests, they give you a minor boon you could use in addition to normal treasure. I really enjoy that. You got some great backstory, those damn daisies. Love that picture. I could make an entire NPC just based on that picture right there. An entire adventure just based on that picture. So that's what you're looking for in a great fiction, isn't it? Inspiration for your campaign. Over on the other page, you got you got a fun doomsday poem about Tar Bathmon. You got some more information here about a hidden sanctuary in the middle of the Gravelands, which would be a great, this is something that if you do adventures in the Gravelands, you need something like this, because otherwise you can't always rely on something like rope trick or shifting. It just doesn't feel realistic to always have your PCs sleep in shifts but never be attacked at night. But you don't always want to be attacked at night. Having a place your PCs could go to just relax, to repair their weapons and armor, to put on their new runes, to do all those downtime activities is necessary, and it's nice to have something like this. All right, I love this Wheel and Woe. Here you have a adventurer who found himself this really cool artifact who needs help getting it back to Absalom, and a tiefling, spider themed tiefling. I won't get too much into the spoilers here, but they are both the NPC and antagonist of a side trek adventure, a complete adventure that comes in this book, including box text, hazards, enemies, XP awards. It is a wonderful third level adventure here, and by the end of it, you will be a third of the way to fourth level. So, about 330 or so XP. There are some unique enemies in here. There's a new alchemical item. There's a map. It's great. It's a really solid adventure, I gotta admit. I will be looking forward to trying to at least use that map in my own campaign coming up shortly, if not the entire adventure. Not 100% sure if I will have the opportunity, but I can think of one way I could possibly include it at level 3, and I would really like to, because it's solid material. They have a bestiary, finally, last but not least. They have a bestiary including little canopians, or kind of little clay dolls that you have to put a small piece of your body into, like a finger or a tooth, and or an entire organ, if you could survive that. And they'll serve you. The bigger the piece, the stronger the canopian. You got wisps, demon wisps. You got Flen's Claw, which are kind of... Oh, demon wisps are kind of corrupted will-o-wisps. I mean, even more corrupted than usual will-o-wisps. Which, yeah, that's something. Because we needed will-o-wisps to be more evil. They weren't evil enough. Flen's Claw are fleshy constructs stitched together through a bunch of demons. They are a ball of hands. So if you ever wanted to hit a 12th level party with a ball of hands, you can now. Nefen are chaotic storm dancers. They are electricity fae. Great first level little creature there. Night Haunts are ghostly knights. Alright, we do have a Leshy in here, of course, because no bestiary is complete without at least one Leshy. This one's really cool, as it's a corrupt Leshy that actually hurts all the plants around it when it dies, rather than heals them. Melikor, kind of, wow, I can't pronounce the name of that animal anymore. Mudkip, Aploxial. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that right now, but they're kind of a blend between otter and that other aquatic animal with some electricity. Ravenwolf is a blend of two animals I can pronounce, a raven and a wolf. It's a raven griffin. Really cool. Has itself a pack attack ability, which I really enjoy in flying creatures. Seslark are giant electricity breathing lizards. And Sinspawn Reclaimers. I like Sinspawn. I'm glad to see more done with them. If you are playing something that is Runelord themed in any way, shape, or form, if you're anywhere between Thassalon and Frisia, you'll want at least one encounter with Sinspawns, and the Sinspawn Reclaimers certainly make them more interesting than usual. You got some plants, you got a burning tree, you got a swarm of fiendish insects, abyssal zombies. This is... I don't know what else to say other than this is a fabulous product. The fact that it's free... Hey, you can't do wrong. You should go check it out. Let me go here back on my focus. There we have it. All right. So that's my little review of Wayfinder number 21. A lot to love in there. Tragedy Bard is the first thing that comes to mind when I think, what did I really like in Wayfinder 21? But, oh, and the Illusionist Oracle. Oh, yeah, see, now more and more comes out, because the more I think about it, the more awesome stuff there is in there. Wonderful fiction, great artwork as usual. I'm almost... my best review I think I could give for it is, oh yeah, I would definitely pay for it. But the fact that this is given out by Paizo Fans United is amazing. It's a great service to the freelancers, editors, all those types of people who want to break into the industry or practice their trade or get noticed or just express their love for Lost Omens. I mean, that's what this all is about. It's about how much we love our game, how much we love our setting, and the love really shines on each and every page of this book. So go ahead, check it out, Paizo.com. Go ahead and search Paizo.com Wayfinder 21 into Google. It will turn up eventually. Look up if you haven't read them already, go ahead and look up some of those past Wayfinders as well. They all have a central theme, so you can figure out which one you want. However, this is the first one that is 2nd edition. The next one will also be Pathfinder 2nd edition. Then they're either going to go back to do another Starfinder issue, or maybe second edition. Not quite sure yet. Point is, the next one will be Pathfinder second edition. So if you've ever wanted to write but don't feel like you're quite ready for a paid gig with Paizo or another publisher, which I still recommend you should just go to a publisher and ask them. But also, check out Wayfinder. It's a great way to get noticed. People will read and use your material and share in the love we all have for that setting of Lost Omens. With that, we are concluded. Go ahead and check me out on Tuesday at 6 Pacific, as I will be cracking a booster pack and making a monster in our booster bestiary. This was a wonderful show. I had a great time. Any third-party people out there who want me to review their content like this, go ahead and give me a buzz. Otherwise, I'm going to pick one of several books for second edition that I have lined up that I've been waiting and raring to review, and I'm going to go for one of those instead. Otherwise, please give me a Discord message, send me a Facebook bloop, however it is you want to contact me. Go ahead and contact me that way. And until then, don't forget to always ask your GM if you crit, because even when you only rolled a 12, I think it's hilarious. Thank you.